What's going on, guys? Pegasus and the Wise Guys. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Make sure you sub, make sure you hit the bell. Guys, quickly before this video starts, I just wanted to give a quick update on some stuff. A new MetaMat design is on the way where we will be connecting, unifying with MetaMat, so look out for that. Make sure you check out inkgaming.com and use our coupon code, The Wise Guys, TCG10, to get a discount of a certain percentage. And last but not least, Custom Ink, our clothing line is on the way. I've been given till September as the deadline. Make sure you look out for that. Let's get into the video, shall we? Alrighty guys, so this is a fun one this time. Doodle Beasts really seem like an interesting addition to the dinosaur stuff, so I just wanted to talk about them. Doodle Beast Stego is a level 5 dinosaur monster that's an Earth with 1200 attack and 1800 defense, and it says if you control no monsters or all monsters you control are dinosaur monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. If this card is normal or special summon, you can add a Doodle Book spell or trap card from your deck to your hand, then discard one card. This is going to be the card that you're going to be adding, and this card is basically a direct Waboku. I guess that's an okay effect. It's not going to be relevant in modern Yu-Gi-Oh, but its powerful effect is if this card is in your graveyard, except the turn it was sent there, you can banish it and add a level 5 or higher dinosaur monster from your deck to your hand. Very, very interesting because of the many splendor things inside of a dinosaur deck that are level 5 or higher that can obviously wipe your opponent out, whether that be, well, let's talk about it, a kaiju maybe? A Dogaran is the obvious card that comes to mind, but the new card Doodle Beast Tyranno is a very, very powerful addition. But additionally, guys, you can obviously add Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, Dogaran, or the Doodle Beast Tyranno, as I said before, which specifically says you can tribute summon this card by tributing a dinosaur monster, and during the main phase, if a dinosaur monster is on the field, you can quick effect immediately after this effect resolves, tribute summon this card from your hand. This card is insane, and I feel like it's a replacement for Miscellaneousaurus. That may not make sense, so I'm going to show you visually, and I really feel like it's insane because if it's reading correctly and it's the way that I'm absorbing it, it can dodge Effect Veiler and Impermanence with your Oviraptor if it's moving it off the field, is it not? And it's popping additionally? Wow. Let's move. Alrighty guys, so in showing just what it looks like on paper, I try to actually show it. Obviously Stego by itself, you know, you pray to God you don't ever draw like this, but Stego by itself, just wanted to show that off. And obviously Fossil Dig can actually search it because it searches level 6 or lower dinos, just so you guys can remember that. Stego can special summon itself if there are no monsters on the field, or if all monsters you control are dino monsters. Make sure that you note that as well, that it is a free extender. And then from here you would get to add the Doodle Book, whatever, however the hell you say it. This isn't the actual printing. Again, I'll show it or try to copy and paste over that, but you would just end up pitching it to the graveyard, and then on your opponent's turn, because it's a trap card, you can banish it just like an Eldritch Trap somewhat, and then from there you can just add a plethora of different options. You can add Pancratops for follow-up, you can add Ultimate Conductor for follow-up, just depends on what the 4 cards in your hand are as well. Obviously, I'm just hypothetically speaking, you would never want to just open up Stego, but you know, things happen. And then obviously you could add something like Overtext as well, but I would try to dump that at all costs pretty much most of the time. But from here, I feel like Tyranno being in your hand is the obvious connector here because they're in the same archetype. And this card being able to be in your hand, to be able to float out of your hand and be an interrupt as well, is absolutely insane in my opinion. Moving on, I just wanted to kind of show what I feel, and I can be completely wrong on this, guys, so do not quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure I'm correct on this, for the simple fact that when Doodle Beast Tyranno actually tribute summons the card off of the field, I guess it's being counted as a tribute summon, you get to actually move the monster off of the field. So let's say you Oviraptor, they end up chaining a Veiler, and then you from there you would try to chain here, and I feel like because the Oviraptor is being tributed and it ends up somewhere else, the Oviraptor would end up resolving, would it not? And if that's the case, then adding either a Misk to the hand or a Archosaur, whatever the combo calls for, but probably having a unblockable Tyranno in a sense, because I feel like you could just jump the Miscellaneousaurus and then pretty much have a wipeout from there as well. I really feel like Miscellaneousaurus is just being replaced in a sense with the Tyranno stuff, and if this is how it works specifically, that's absolutely insane. And then having an unblockable pop after that, if you added the Misk and then could chain to it, I don't know guys, that's pretty strong. As far as the standard combos, this is just the standard scrap combos. If you've never seen them before, sorry, I'm just gonna run through it real quick. Obviously, you would pitch Miscellaneousaurus if you've never seen it, and then banish it from the graveyard to then special summon Archosaur. Pop the baby in the hand, baby Ceratosaurus, to then add a double Evo pill, and then special summon out Oviraptor, and then that's pretty much the standard combo at all times with Dino. And then with the regular normal summon, being able to pop with Oviraptor and then trigger and then start the whole vortex that Dino does of just special summoning out stuff is absolutely insane. Although the variable in this one is the scrap raptor, the scrap version I feel is the best version right now, just because Branded doesn't have Anaconda anymore, so the inboards just aren't the same, and I feel like ending on a card like Dweller is just better. So just fast forwarding through the combo a little bit, going from Link Karibo, I feel like you just want to set it up this way to get the Link Karibo out into rotation. That way when you begin to link off, you'll have additional stuff to be able to either trigger out of the grave or banish off of the double Evo pill. And then from there, you're just doing the standard scrap stuff, Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2 of adding scraps, then popping the Petite eventually. Additionally, being able to pretty much outlay the board to be an Appaloosa. This is the board that I usually go for. This is why I wanted to kind of fast forward. It is, I try to end on the Savage next to a Dweller, next to Ultimate Conductor if I go first with this deck, or just try to run them over going second, because that's just what Dino does. As far as the standard also combo, I guess, if you're thinking about like Branded, I don't know, guys. It's just not the same, just because, again, as I said, the Verte Anaconda isn't a thing. And pretty much the standard combo in this sense is pretty much the same thing, although you just have to use your first normal. If you're not playing the scrap stuff, you're just gonna have to end up playing it this way, and it's just kind of a lot less strong. I don't know. It's decent. You can still end up on the same thing. Obviously, this isn't what you would end on going first. You would probably try to play like Masquerena instead, or try to end on Masquerena, and then use the Dolka, and then you use those to go in to go into Appaloosa. Excuse me. I feel like that's okay, and this is maybe a layered board. If you wanted this, instead of going in a Link Karibo, you would just leave the Link Karibo in the deck, because Masquerena can't be used by using Link monsters as her Link material. So it's just the Branded version just isn't what it was, and I feel like that's just not the best version to play right now, guys. So I obviously wanted to quickly show something off, just because a lot of people do not know this, and so this is where I wanted to show it real quick. Whenever I'm gonna show off the Doodle stuff, you go to custom cards, and this is where you actually do it, and then from there you just go into, I guess, Doodle Beast is what you have to actually type in, and then usually somebody will have, these are Alan McTavish's copies, and then he puts them in the English form. Shout out to him. He does a really good job with these and gets them translated very, very quickly. Don't know if he's directly translated them, but he always does a great job. What I wanted to talk about is this is the scrap version. This is just how I'm playing it right now, and I added the set rotation stuff. The stuff Singh was talking about really makes sense for a lot of decks, and so I added that. Obviously, you could cut this down to 40 very, very easily. The Branded version, I haven't really touched it since Anaconda got hit, because Anaconda's not a card anymore, and like Pentastag's not the same thing, and you'd probably try to end on Masquerena, as I said before, but I just don't think that's that good anymore. But this was my build before, and I couldn't play Extravagance, because I just didn't want to play 3 of these to like mitigate the loss of cards that you can easily have by playing a card like Pot of Extravagance. But I feel like Dino Scrap is the best way to play it right now. But you're here for the Doodle Beast stuff, and I feel like it's going to be super duper interesting to see what the ratios are. I think the trap, I'm just going to put all of these here. I think the trap is obviously a one of, just because the Doodle Book, I think is his name. Doodle Book just isn't a good card, really. So it's like gonna be on the field. Ignore this. This is the negate part, but then it obviously has a banish to add the level 5 or higher. It's strong. This stuff is strong. I just don't know if it's gonna outclass the scrap stuff, but it is really, really interesting. And having a float that can probably protect an Oviraptor effect and get it and push it through, I feel like is going to have to be a part of the deck, guys. So It's going to be interesting to see what the ratios are. I feel like I would always want to have this card in my hand because it would feel like Misk, would it not? And then with the Stego, I think the trap is obvious one of, so maybe 3-2-1 or 3-3-1. It's going to be up to you guys, but I definitely think these cards are very, very good. And let me know what you think about them down in the comments. If you need to see any additional combos or go over some further Dino stuff, we can do a further breakdown. Let us know. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Pegasus signing out. Arrivederci.